Rhea Ripley hospitalized. A WrestleMania fantasy booking. I have Brock and Oba. A WrestleMania preview. WWE and TKO tensions. And much more. Welcome to A Latte's Vision. Episode number 11. Let's get into it. So we all know what happened on SmackDown between Pat McAfee, Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton. And it's reported that Cody, after that shoot promo, and members of the creative team all have gripes with TKO and do not like them for sticking their nose in booking decisions. So WWE has also reworked some of the plans for the Pat McAfee, Cody Rhodes, and Randy Orton angle. And apparently, one of those changes is Jelly Roll being added. Isn't that great? That's what we all wanted. That's what this feud needed, wasn't it? It was Jelly Roll. We need Jelly Roll, guys. This is what's going to save our WrestleMania main event. We all know that Pat McAfee being inserted was a direct call from Ari Emanuel. And it just shows how delusional and not in touch with the world of pro wrestling he is. Every time TKO's tried to get involved in storylines in the build-up to WrestleMania, it has never worked. The 3 times they tried, it failed miserably. The Rock trying to take Cody's spot at WrestleMania started the whole "We Want Cody" movement. Terrible decision. The Rock returning at Elimination Chamber and then dipping out after turning John Cena heel. Fail. This year, Pat McAfee being revealed to be the mystery man. Fail. Speaking of which, Pat McAfee says he's going to never be on wrestling TV again if Randy loses. I don't want that. I just want him to be a commentator, please. And Pat McAfee's also set to reveal a massive surprise on SmackDown. I'm hoping that massive surprise is that this was all one big joke, because that's the only thing that I'm going to pop for. Let's preview WrestleMania. Night 1, the opener, AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Then we have the Vision and Speed versus the Usos in LA Knight. Yeah. Then we have Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. Seth Rollins versus Gunnar. Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. The Fatal 4-Way match for the Women's Tag Team titles. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton in the main event of Night 1 for the Undisputed WWE Championship. Then Night 2, the opener, we have Jade Cargill versus Rhea Ripley for the WWE Women's Championship. Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi, a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship featuring Penta, JD McDonough, Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, and Rusev. The Demon Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio, Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams for the United States Championship, and in the main event, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns for the World Heavyweight Championship. However, one of those things was a lie. Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi is now reportedly scheduled to open Night 2 of WrestleMania, which I think is the right decision. I'm excited for Rhea versus Jade, but Oba and Brock is just a bigger, more hyped match, straight up. And I would love to see this match end with the ring breaking. And don't you tell me that they don't have enough time to fix it before the next match. They take like 30 minutes between matches. They got time. But tell me that wouldn't be incredible, dude. Speaking of Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar, they had a huge brawl on Monday Night Raw, and it was incredible. They started the action right away. Oba Femi was throwing chairs across the ring. So was Brock Lesnar. They were sprinting at each other, jumping on each other from across the ring. And they were just like desperate to get their hands on each other. And after the show ended, Brock Lesnar threw the steel steps into the ring like they weighed 2 pounds. It was an incredible brawl. I think he threw like a book at him or something too. It was amazing. That is how you do a brawl. It was like 2 guys who just wanted to destroy each other and hurt the other one in any way they possibly could. That's how the Cody versus Randy brawl should have been. But it wasn't. Back to the topic of WrestleMania. Per Body Slam, the production for the WrestleMania 42 set is set to begin on April 13th, with the official reveal expected on social media by the end of the week. Is it not going to be the same stage? Like, are they making a different one? Because if so, I am very worried that they're going to make a terrible one. Because this is an incredible stage. I don't want them to end up making something worse just because they wanted to be different. The Demon Finn Balor is scheduled to face Daddy Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania, and Danhausen pointed out that it would appear that Domhausen is still cursed, and that is true. I think it's fairly obvious that Dom is going to lose here, and I would love to see Dom go after Danhausen after WrestleMania, maybe have a match at Backlash. Wait, that one wasn't very good, hold on. Backlash. That's better. But yeah, I would love to see that at Backlash and get Dom back on the winning streak. And the match could be like, the stipulation could be, hey, if Danhausen wins, the curse stays. If Dom wins, the curse is lifted. I think that would be great, and it would allow Dom to get free from the curse and go on to win. It is now official. Carmelo Hayes will miss this year's WrestleMania, and it is just sad to see because both him and Ilya Dragunov are missing WrestleMania, and they both brought so much value to the U.S. title. They have been the MVPs, the workhorses of SmackDown over about the past 6 months, and actually more like 8 or 9 months, but it's been amazing. It's so unfortunate, man. They deserve to be on the WrestleMania card. If you're not going to do it, just throw the match in there. If the Kabuki Warriors have to replace the Bella Twins, that means there's still going to be an uneven amount of matches on each night. Just throw Melo vs. Ilya on there. Nobody's going to complain about that. But speaking of that, Bella Twins, might not be able to compete. Also, just a quick note, I'm going to be making a video this coming Monday, I believe, on the biggest WrestleMania snubs this year. These two are definitely two of the top victims. But if Nikki Bella does not get cleared, the Kabuki Warriors are going to replace the Bella Twins in that match. And if she is okay, the Bella Twins will obviously stay in the match, and they will announce Io Sky versus Asuka. Now, I want Nikki Bella to be okay, and then we get Io Sky versus Asuka, and the Bella Twins stay in there. That's what I want. But if Nikki Bella isn't okay, and the Kabuki Warriors, Asuka, and Kairi Sane have to replace the Bella Twins, I have a fantasy booking for Miss Io Sky. So, there's still an uneven amount of matches on each night. So there's a spot for one more match. So, hear me out. This, obviously, Io Sky is getting snubbed out of WrestleMania. Absolutely shouldn't be. And there's another woman who also should absolutely be at WrestleMania, who was also in the women's WrestleMania ad. I mean, I think you can guess who I'm talking about. Io Sky can hold an open challenge, and Tiffany Stratton can answer. First of all, the match would be insane. Second of all, it is a great way to get both Io Sky and Tiffany Stratton, two certified main eventers, on the card. Yes, there's no storyline, but we don't need a storyline for Tiffany Stratton versus Io Sky. It's an open challenge. Tell me who says no to this. This would be incredible. WWE is reportedly looking to lower ticket prices for their shows in the summer months this year following CM Punk's comments on Monday night, and also probably Cody Rhodes' comments on Friday Night SmackDown. I'll believe it when I see it, because this should have happened about a year and a half ago, and I don't believe that they're actually going to do it. I hope they do, obviously, but if they just lower it by like $20, and they say like, oh guys, we lowered the ticket prices, what are you complaining about? I'm gonna lose my mind. Clash in Italy is just about a month away. Actually closer to 2 months, but the official poster, they have released the official poster featuring Trick Williams, Seth Rollins, Rhea Bloody Ripley, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Oba Femi, Randy Orton, Liv Morgan, and the Ring Gooneral Gooner, who has a career killer gimmick but doesn't kill careers. I can't wait for this PLE. I think the crowd's going to be absolutely incredible. The first ever PLE in Italy. I mean, I can't wait, man. The previously mentioned Rhea Ripley has been hospitalized. She had a cut on her leg. It's a pretty gnarly cut. I'm going to show you the picture. But Rhea, Buddy Matthews, her hot husband, posted a picture of her in the hospital, and she just needed to get some stitches for a cut appearingly on her thigh. Appearingly, I don't think that's a word, but it is now because, and that's the bottom line because I said so. But anyways, I'm gonna show you the cut. It's pretty graphic. If you're sensitive to, it kind of looks a little bit similar to Jade Cargill's cut, but just not as bad. They're like not as deep. It looks like she's leaking pizza sauce. I don't know why that's the analogy I have. Now when I see pizza sauce, I'm probably going to think of that, so that's fun. And now you will too. But I'm going to show you, if you're sensitive to blood and stuff like that, skip about 10-15 seconds forward. 3, 2, 1. That is the cut. See, it looks like she's leaking pizza sauce. It kind of looks like lava from Minecraft too. And I'm not trying to like make a joke out of this. I obviously hope she's okay. I hope she gets better. It doesn't look like it's too bad. She just needed some stitches. It looks like there's only about 3 there. It doesn't look like it's going to take her out of WrestleMania or anything. So that's good. Hopefully, Rhea Ripley is okay and recovers as fast as possible. Speaking of injuries, Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez very hardly clashed skulls on the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw when Liv Morgan got attacked from behind by Stephanie Vaquer, and it sounded like 2 bowling balls collided, bro. I mean, they hit heads hard. You can clearly see Liv Morgan in the top left, that bump on her head from the headbutt, with the unintentional headbutt. I mean, it is gnarly. And they have both reportedly been replaced in concussion protocol. And Roxanne Perez, I don't have a picture of it, but she also had a similar bump. It didn't stick out quite as far, wasn't quite as big, but still definitely bad. I know what it feels like. I've had 2 concussions in my life, so I know it does not feel good. So hopefully they get well soon. They're both in concussion protocol, but there's internal optimism that both of them will be cleared in time for WrestleMania. As of right now, as of the recording of this video, the Vaquer versus Liv Morgan match is still on, and there's no heat on Stephanie because it was just considered an accident, as it should be. But I hope both Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan are okay and get well as soon as possible. You never want to see anybody get injured. Braun Breaker has recently been cleared to return to the WWE ring. He suffered a hernia about 1 or 2 months ago, about a month and a half ago, I think, or something like that. And it's looking like he's going to return at WrestleMania. I think it's becoming more and more evident, more and more obvious that he's going to return at WrestleMania and likely probably cost Seth the match against Gunnar to continue his stupid undefeated streak. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to Braun Breaker's assumed return at WrestleMania. I almost said the Royal Rumble for some reason. There was a teaser on Monday Night Raw of 6 women and 1 man sitting in chairs, dancing. I don't know if the woman in the middle is supposed to be Liv Morgan. I'm not exactly sure, but I don't know what this means. It was just like a 5, 6, 7, 8 second clip. I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to mean. Let me know what you think this could possibly be. Mike Santana, the TNA World Champion, his contract is scheduled to expire this summer, and there is significant interest from WWE reportedly. And from the very little of Mike Santana I've seen on NXT, I like him. I think he would be a good addition to WWE. I think he should go through NXT first because NXT needs more main event men. Let's preview tonight's SmackDown. Randy Orton will appear. Pat McAfee has a massive surprise announcement. Hopefully it's the joke. Cody Rhodes responds to Pat McAfee and Randy Orton. Royce Keys, finally, about 2 months after making his debut, will make his SmackDown debut. So, I mean, I hope they do something good with him. Sami Zayn and Trick Williams will have a segment. Please do not have Lil Yachty come back. I am not trying to hear, what? What? Yeah? Who? How? Let's talk about it. What, that Trick? Yeah? Oh, he's calling y'all. I'm not trying to hear that for a second week in a row. It was so annoying, I don't ever want to hear it again. Drew McIntyre will also expose the real Jacob Fatu. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I'm interested. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode of A Latte's Vision. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on any of the things I showed. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want, and bye.